Hey y'all, I have a quick word of encouragement to share with you. I'm going to read to you from 1 Peter 4:12. And the message of this video is, do not despise the fiery trial that you are walking through. Do not despise the fiery trial that you are walking through. So 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12 says, Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come on you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. Okay. I'm going to share a very vulnerable, candid moment here for a moment. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but those that are closest to me know that I have been walking through a long series of trials and tests for the last 7.5 years. And at first, I walked in a lot of anxiety and fear because of what I was experiencing. And I had to learn how to trust God on a level and a scale that I've never had to trust God. Then I had to deal with my own anger and frustration toward myself, as if I was doing something wrong, anger toward my circumstances because they weren't, the blessing of the Lord that I believe that we're all supposed to walk in. And then I even had to, I had to deal with some anger towards God. And so for a little bit, for about an hour earlier today, just a little bit of that creeped back up. And I started finding myself a little bit angry toward my circumstances, even toward God, and saying, Lord, haven't I suffered enough? Haven't I walked through enough testing? Haven't I been faithful enough? And so basically I was wanting all the equity to count, all the effort and the energy and the right heart postures that I've, really endeavored to employ. And I heard the Lord speak to me so plainly, and he said, daughter, he said, this isn't even about you. And he's been saying that to me a lot lately. And so I just want to encourage you that, first of all, I want to encourage you to watch the message that I did this past Sunday morning. It is an hour-long message, but it's called Navigating Your Current Trials and Becoming Undevourable. And then a few days later, I posted a 10 or 12-minute video that's just a short recap of the main points that I made in that message. And so what I want to add today is this, that every single trial that you go through, God is wanting to teach and train you in some aspect of his kingdom, of his character, of his nature, of his ways, or preparing you for something greater, right? And whenever he's preparing you for something greater, you can always expect that there's going to be testing, because he's cleaning out, he's refining our character of even those small, character bents that aren't necessarily in alignment with his image and likeness in which we were originally created and made, right? And so what I can say that I have learned after 7.5 years of walking through what feels like fiery trial after fiery trial after fiery trial, I can look back and say these things. Number one, I have learned beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is my Father. He is my Father who loves me, and he loves me better and more deeply and more extravagantly than any person that has ever loved me. Number two, true contentment, true peace, true fulfillment, and does not come from things, from relationships, from achievements, from anything. True peace, joy, and contentment really does come in our relationship with the Lord. And every trial that gets kind of thrown at us, whether the Lord intended for it to happen or whether the enemy demonically engineered it, either way, doesn't matter. It is an opportunity for God to not only do miracles in our life, but it is an opportunity for him to strengthen areas in our resolve that are weak, form our character and our nature more in the image of Christ, reveal to us more about his heart and his will, and yes, prepare us for the great exploits that he's called for us to do in the earth. So I just want to encourage you, do not despise the fiery trial that you're walking through. Go back and listen to those 2 messages. Ask God what he's trying to teach you. Ask God how he's trying to mature you. Ask God what kind of heart posture or mindset that he wants you to take in this season. Because I promise at the end of the day, whatever you're walking through, it's not just about you. It is about every single person that you are supposed to touch for his glory. It is about every part of his plans and purposes and will for you that he desires for you to walk out in fullness. We just have to be willing to allow him that time and space to work all those things out of us. And that doesn't mean that he expects perfection. God does not expect perfection. He's not a demanding God. But I will say, on the other side now of a lot of those other trials, if I had not allowed God the opportunity to walk me through them, I would never know the resilience and strength that I have now. I would never know how to trust God for certain things and in certain situations. I would never have learned my authority in Christ and the authority that I have over the enemy in every area of my life. Like, there's so many things that now on the other side that I am solid in, that I've learned, that I've grown, that I've matured. And above all, I have learned that true joy, peace, and contentment, when all else fails, he is the only one. He is the only one who gives true, lasting love, joy, peace, and contentment. All right, you guys, I pray that has been a blessing to you. If you feel led to sow into the ministry of this channel, the giving links are in the description. If you have not yet subscribed, welcome to all my new subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed, do that. If this video was helpful to you, give me some love in the comments and tell me which point really was your aha moment. And then do me a favor, like, love, and share this with 3, 5, 10, 100, 1,000 people that you think need to hear it. All right, you guys, have a good evening.